The graduate should be nationalistic and a global citizen, patriotic. The student has to be actively involved in the economic development of their country. So they're an economic agent. Um, they they're also social beings, and so there are social attributes that we're looking at, a propensity to resolve conflicts peacefully.
That is the profile of the ideal high school graduate developed by educators. This was done as a part of the start of a wider education reform, which will see the rationalization and diversification of the secondary curriculum in Belize. But what does this mean for Belize in the context of the ideal high school graduate?
It means that you're trying to develop a curriculum that produces the kind of graduate that Belize is looking for, and that every school would have a responsibility of providing a core curriculum that helps develop that, as well as offer diversification in terms of its electives. That electives would include technical, it would include creative, and it would include regular academic subjects.
Why are we moving in that direction? Is this a part of a wider effort in the Caribbean, or are there gaps perhaps in the curriculums we're using here in Belize?
Well, both are true. There is a wider movement in the Caribbean. The heads of government in 1998 had determined what is the ideal Caribbean person, what is the kind of attributes they're looking for in persons from the Caribbean in helping develop the social and economic development of the region. Belize took it a step further in identifying the ideal Belizean secondary school graduate as what it is they want to see in that person. And given the traits and the attributes that you're looking for, how do you support that? And you support it through a series of subjects that are done in the classroom.
When we make these kinds of changes, we expect some sort of maybe a ripple effect in terms of the benefits that this would have within our society. Can you speak to us a little on that?
Well, there are a number of things, and you would expect that you have less lawlessness and less criminality within your society in terms of social. You would have more patriotic people who are indebted to the country and want to make sure that the country survives and continue to thrive. And you would also have greater access to the economy, where the economy would develop by the contribution of education, where people either become employees or employers in different fields of business.
One of the things the Ministry of Education has done is to identify a common core of subjects which will help to mold the students into the ideal graduate profile. This includes the basics of English and math, among others, as well as Belizean history, IT, and communication. Included are a number of electives and vocational and technical areas, but this would mean that some schools may have to work together.
The purpose of today's session is to have schools begin to do their self-assessment as far as their own capacity to deliver the kind of curriculum that will shape the defined graduate. And if they believe that they come up short, how can they work together with other schools in a cluster to share the curriculum offering? And so we have proposed certain clusters, and it is our intention during today's workshop for the various stakeholders to look at what we are suggesting.
The major challenge would be getting parents to buy in, getting schools to buy in, to recognize that what we did in the past may not be good for the 21st century, and that we may have to make adjustments. And it is not just about doing good, it is about doing better. It's not just about doing better, but doing the best that you can do. So there may be nothing wrong with your school at present, but you want to become better. You want to have fewer students who are dropping out. You want to have more students who are contributing in getting the 5 subjects also needed to go on to university, go on to a tertiary level education, or go into the workplace. So you really want to add value, more value in the institutions that you're in.
When we make these kinds of changes, should we anticipate perhaps an increase in the cost of education?
No, in this case we expect that the resources that are available are shared much easier, and hence the Center of Excellence concept, where you have facilities like the ITVEC centers where technical vocational education is offered and it may not be fully utilized. So a school wanting to do some TVEC subjects may be able to take the students there during the day to occupy the spaces that are there, and at the same time diversifying their own curriculum to offer more access to students.
Schools were asked to complete self-assessments which will be verified by the ministry. Following the identification of school clusters, some will form the pilot project which will be reviewed, and then the initiative will be rolled out over time.
High school is 4 years, and we need to begin by ensuring that the general core is in place at the first form level, and then phased into second form, etc. So it will take place over time.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.